Hello humans, Master Dinnerflex here, and today I'm going to be going over a dark deck profile of complete darkness over all dark. Now, obviously this is with the new dark support. I've been testing it a lot, and for the most part it's been kind of not great, unfortunately, but there's a lot of synergies this deck has. So one of the combos I found is with Arima and Pinned Magicians, you can actually end up searching Astrograph or Diabolos with it, which I found hilarious, but it's not practical. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and get into this. I'm going to explain all the card choices. So we got triple Diabolos. This could easily be at 2, and it's probably recommended that you played at 2. But I like the third one over Duke Shade, but I think Duke Shade might be the third one of this. But this, obviously, cycling 2 late game is pretty absurd. And all the immunity he has and how easy it is to bring out, just very, very good. Triple Arima, the best card in the deck, easily. If you don't really need anything, you can just tribute him or another thing to draw a card. But if you tribute another card, you can go ahead and not only search Diabolos, but to search your Malefics, which I will get into later. This is the best card with Lair of Darkness. Allows you to tribute your opponent's cards on your opponent's turn to search traps when you already have some traps. So this card is very fantastic. I really like it in here. Triple of it. I'm playing plenty of normal traps, and I'll explain the normal traps soon enough. And then we got 3 of each of the good Malefics. Now, why did I decide to go with the Malefics? Well, obviously they're searchable with Arima, but so one of the problems is with the Dark Lord deck is you need to devote too many cards to do very, very, like, the Dark Lords are extremely fragile. I notice a lot of the time. If you Ash Blossom their Ixchel or strike it, that's pretty much it. They can't do anything. And then they just lose. And they sprick so much. But with the Malefics, you have 12 field spells in the deck. This is a field spell, this is a field spell, this is a field spell, and this is a field spell. And if you just summon a Malefic, that's already, with like traps especially, then there's not a lot they can actually do. And you devoted much less resources to do something very basic and get a virus fodder, especially Stardust Dragon, protecting Necro Valley. That's just another realm. And because field spells like with Trick Stars are so popular, you can just summon this for free. And especially against Trick Stars, it's any Malefic, it's just so brutal to them. Now, like I said earlier, not only are they all searchable with Arima, but they're all virus targets. Or for the viruses in here, of course. Triple Lair, very, very good. Tributing your opponent's cards, getting free tokens to do whatever with, mainly tributing. Triple Necro Valley for an extra field spell. No Gravekeeper's Commandant. Because I only want to activate Necro Valley if I've got enough information on my opponent to know when to activate it. So this is like, if I have nothing else, or if I know my opponent loses to it, then I activate this. Triple Terraforming to get him. Now this is a fun little card I found. So I wanted to play Trade-In earlier, but one of the problems with Trade-In is I didn't have enough level 8s, even with 6. But this, you actually have 9 targets for. And with the field, if your opponent happens to control a level 8, like especially in Blue Eyes, you can just tribute that. So, yeah, it's tribute. Keyword is tribute. 1 level 8 or higher monster, including Malefic, draw 2 cards. So it's, of course, you tribute a Malefic you don't need. If you have spares, trigger Diabolos, draw 2 cards. Just so good. I love this card in here. Not at 3 because you only want to, like, you don't want to see this and not the other cards. And then Monster Reborn. It kind of conflicts with Necro Valley, but like I said, Necro Valley should be your last activated spell normally. Triple Mind Crush, because you get so many information with the viruses, and opponents just give you information, so this is fine. And not to mention, I think there's only certain scenarios in like real tournaments, but you're normally supposed to check their hand for people who don't know to verify, even if you know that all copies are gone. But I think in like top, like if you're in Top Cut, I think you can have a judge verify it and then you don't get information. But either way, before that, very good. And if you have viruses, you already know everything. And this card is another way to check your opponent's hand and kind of clear it out a bit. The only issue is this is only good if they don't know it's there and they're not expecting it. And it's only good once. I need to find another hand-controlled card, but this is like one of the only hand-controlled traps we have left in the game outside of viruses and Mind Crush. And yeah, there's a point of Red Lotus, but this deck's not fast enough to capitalize on that. So yeah, three of this, obviously searchable, and viruses searchable. Full Force sucks. I am so jaded to this card. I just hope we get a similar OCG ban list and they give this back to 3, because this one's so good. But this one's like, it's only good sometimes, and I don't like activating cards that are good sometimes. I want to make sure that it's always powerful, and this is always powerful. And finally, three non-searchable traps, the Solemns. Extra deck, it's not even complete, so don't worry about it. An extra deck. If you're going to play Duke Shade, you should absolutely play 3 of each, because Duke Shade can recycle the Malefics. Otherwise, you can probably cut 1 or 2 of these if you really want to use your extra deck. But I hardly ever use the extra deck. It's like, I think I've made this once, and this twice. And that's really, like, not impactful. I have summoned a 3rd Malefic Cyber, and I've done this twice, so I probably will just go 3 and 3, and I think that's the best way to do it. So yep, that's about it. I would do replays, but unfortunately, this is a stun deck, and replays for stun are some of the most boring shit you will ever see. So no replays, unfortunately. If you really want anti-meta replays, just let me know. But yeah, that's about it. Also, if you have any ideas of better hand control cards than this, outside of a pointer, because I can't use a pointer in this deck, let me know. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and other YouTube shit. So yeah, remember, Master Dinnerflex will take your soul.